Assalamu alaikum. Just a quick video. This video is regarding the battery, the hybrid battery. You can see on the monitor, it's just over half full, and the battery goes down as you drive the car. So basically, if we go to a car wash, a drive-through car wash, they ask you to put the car in neutral gear and take the handbrake off, so the car is dragged through their machine through the car wash. So if that battery is low, like on 1 bar or 2 bar, and you have to put your car in neutral, normally if this battery goes to about 1 bar or 2 bars, engine will start up, charge the battery up about 4 bars, and then the engine will cut off. But if we put the car in neutral there, now what will happen, the battery will go down and it'll keep going down, but the engine won't start back up. So if the engine doesn't start up and when you go to a car wash, your battery's already low, and then when you go through a drive-through car wash and the battery goes even further down, you can have some big problems. So always try to keep that battery about half charged before you enter the car wash. If your battery's already low and you're going through a car wash, because when it's in neutral, the engine won't start to charge the battery. The engine will only charge the battery if it's in P or if it's in D. If it's in drive or P, when the battery goes low, it'll charge it back up. But if the car is in neutral, it'll just keep going down, but the engine won't kick in to start it. So that's one problem that you can have. Secondly, I've had a few friends of my mechanics. If there's something wrong with the car engine, it'll say check hybrid system. It might be like your fuel pump, your throttle body, anything, even water pump, anything. What they'll try and do is try and start the car. Every time they try and start the car, it'll feel like the car is started, but really it's the battery that's turning the engine over. What you've got to remember, the small battery, the 12-volt battery back in the boot or in the front of the bonnet, in the new Priuses, that will turn the big hybrid battery on. That's all it does. It turns the big battery on. The big battery starts the engine. Now, if you to think that small battery starts the engine, it doesn't. So if your hybrid battery, if you keep trying to start your engine, if there's something wrong with your engine and you keep trying it, eventually what will happen, you'll drain the hybrid battery, and then it's a big job to take the battery out, bring it to a shop like mine to charge it back up before you can test the rest of the car, like your engine components. So if your battery I've had a few from 2 or 3 jobs where they've been to a normal garage and they've had cars checked up, and they've tried starting the car, and they said that the car did start up for a split second and then it turns back off. It wasn't actually the engine starting up, it was actually the hybrid battery turning the engine over. It wasn't starting, the engine wasn't starting. Engine can just say low power or poor power. You'll get that kind of a code. It can be numerous of things that can be wrong with the car. But if you keep trying it, you'll drain that battery, and then you can't do any more diagnostics, because obviously the battery's down. It's like if you had a 12-volt battery in a normal petrol or diesel car, and then you kept on trying to start the car up with the starter, eventually that 12-volt battery will wear off, and then you can put a jump starter on it to keep it going. But in this case, if that battery, the hybrid battery, goes down to like 1 bar, even now you sorted the engine up, but the engine won't start up because the small battery doesn't start up. It's the hybrid battery that starts up. So try to keep that hybrid battery. Don't try and, if you're a mechanic, don't keep switching ignition on and keep trying your engine. You can try it once or twice like a normal car and then find the problem. Once you solve the problem, the engine starts up, the battery will charge up. There's no point keep on trying. If you had a normal petrol or diesel car and you kept on going on the starter motor and trying to start a car, and there's something wrong with the engine, But basically you're going to wear off the starter motor, and also you're going to flatten the battery. This is same. All it is, it's not the small battery that gets down, it's the hybrid battery. Every time you're trying to start, it goes down. So that's something else. And once it goes down, the hybrid battery, you have to take it out to charge it up properly again and put it in before it starts working again. So I hope that helps. I mean, I had a few cases like that. I just thought I'd make a video. Car washers especially, don't leave your car in neutral. Try and keep your car in P or D. Don't keep it in neutral, because if you put it in neutral, the battery can't charge up. It'll just stay on battery and it'll flatten the battery, but it won't charge up. So neutral is like to flatten your battery. Like it's in neutral now. If I leave it there, the hybrid battery will go down. So always keep it in P or D. Another thing, say for example, a lot of drivers have been telling me that they leave the car on as it is now when they're waiting for a job, or if they're a taxi driver, or just keep it in P and just keep the car on. And then the battery, even though it's in P, the battery goes down, then the engine starts up to bring the battery up. All you're doing, if you don't need to leave your car on, please turn it off. If you leave it on for no reason, you're wearing out your battery, and also the inverter converter has to work very hard once the battery gets to the bottom, and then engine starts up to charge the battery. So if it's on 1 or 2 bar, then obviously it's going to cost you more in fuel because the engine's running, and the inverter converter has to work really hard to bring the battery back up. And every hybrid battery or any battery has so much cycle charge that it'll charge up and discharge. So every time the battery is going down and then coming back up for no reason, you're losing another cycle. So to save that battery, if you can, turn your engine off if you don't need it. If it's a nice summer day and if it's cold and you've got heater and stuff like that, or you're waiting for a passenger, it's fine. But if you don't need it, turn the car off. Because if you leave it running, even if it's in P, but the battery will go down to 2 bars, and then you'll really have to work hard to charge that battery back up. So it's always better to turn it off if you can. If you don't need to leave it on, then turn it off. That might help you as well, because a lot of times what happens is they go to work and just leave the car on constantly till they finish their shift, which then they don't understand is one driver's battery is last a lot longer than the other one. I hope it helps, and thank you very much.